Hello, I'm Mike Sidaway, Chair of the Department of Mathematics and Computer Science. I'm a professor of mathematics, and I'm joined today by one of our distinguished seniors, Elizabeth Wolf, and we're going to talk about the, uh, the math major. Elizabeth, welcome.
Thank you.
So, first question, how do you think students with a degree in mathematics, working on a degree in mathematics, see the world?
Yeah, I would say that the math major here at CC is really dedicated to proofwriting and to
Mm.
really getting at the heart of like pure mathematics. And so there's lots of opportunities to do applied math, but at the core of the mathematics major, you're going to see a lot of people who are looking to see how, like, not just numbers in the world, but how they can prove how those numbers interact. And there are a lot of critical individuals in the major that are really looking to see, like, how can we connect like this idea to this idea, and how can I prove that this like always works. And in the major you're going to end up seeing a lot of writing out your ideas, making sure that you can explain them, just not just like saying what the numbers do, but saying why
Mm.
they do what they do. And not only that, but working with other people to like see what everyone else sees. So you'll be in a classroom and you're going to work with these ideas, and some of them are going to be calculus like you've seen in high school, but others are going to be different ideas that you've like never seen before undergrad, and you're going to be looking at these ideas with other people. And so a lot of these people are going to be looking at these ideas and then also making sure that they can communicate them with other people in their team so that everyone can move forward and like work on a project in a way that like is most efficient because you're on the block plan, and usually you end up getting some really cool results. So I think it's a lot of excited creative people.
Great. Sounds exciting. And what courses do you take to complete a mathematics degree, Elizabeth?
Yeah, so the requirements for the math major are going to start with Calc 3. If you haven't taken Calc 1 and 2 in high school, you can also take Calc 1 and 2. Um,
Mhm.
but the requirement to start the major is going to be to have taken Calc 3, number theory, and linear algebra. Personally, I would highly recommend taking number theory. Number theory is, of those three classes,
Mhm.
the one that I would say is most representative of the rest of the requirements for the major. Because after these three requirements to declare the major, you're going to have to take abstract algebra 1 and real analysis 1, and then see what happens. You're going to either decide to take abstract algebra 2 or real analysis 2, and then some other 300 level electives. And these are all pure math classes that really require that proofwriting. So I would say number theory is the most important of those three prerequisites to get an idea of like whether you really want to do the math major.
Great. You have a really interesting sounding thesis, Elizabeth. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my thesis that I have to do as part of the requirement to graduate is some research that I did with Dr. Marlo Anderson on wild automorphisms of the complex field. So that's going to be automorphisms, which are maps between the complex numbers back to the complex numbers that scramble the real numbers. So it would be like a sort of abstract algebra topic, and I love it.
Mhm. Well, that sounds really interesting. And how do you think the mathematics degree will help you with your career goals?
So, as I took classes here at CC, I really fell in love with pure math, and in particular, I really fell in love with algebraic geometry. And so, the math major here at CC has really provided me with like the a solid foundation to apply to grad school. But not only that, I eventually want to work like in computer science or like some sort of field that like applies math to computer science. And on the way, like CC definitely provided me with like a background, especially with its the math department's connection with the computer science department to really like go into some sort of job that works with the two of those.
Mhm. And do you see yourself being a professor someday? Is that what you're aiming toward?
So I actually thought at the beginning that I would want to be a professor,
Mm,
but as I took more classes here and as I talked to more professors in the computer science department and the math department, I realized that like a professor would be a cool job, but there were just so many other
mm.
opportunities for stuff that I could do that I'm honestly not sure now.
So it's nice to have all of those options, and I think it is something, if you look back on all of the graduates that we have had over the last, many decades, that there are so many different careers that our students take up with a solid degree like a math degree. Thank you very much, Elizabeth.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.